up my ducks. That was the timer to say that the 4 minutes 58 seconds are up with that piece of music. That's so I know how to time when to do the, you know, the little World Wide Web graphic that I put up is all of us, you know, all across the world connecting through our device, mobile phones, laptops, PCs, TVs, whatever we're watching on now, and connecting with each other. That's what that little bit's for. But that's 49 seconds. The countdown is a minute, and the music is 4 minutes 58. So I have to work it all out. And I forgot to stop the timer before, because once I hit that 1 minute, I don't need the timer anymore. Anyway, let's pop open the chat so we can see everybody. How is everybody doing? Let's do our usual hellos and welcomes. I've got a big mug of steaming coffee. Just look at the, it's so cold that it's been made about 10 minutes, but nothing nicer, is there? Have you all got a drink? So first one in today was our lovely Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn. How are you? Lily Rose, closely following. Fireside chat room. Nice to see you. And Saskia is here. Hello, Saskia. The lovely Kim. Hello, Kim. It'll not be long now, will it, till you come to the UK? I really hope there is a way somehow, if we can meet up, even if it's for a few hours in London or somewhere. Golden, hello. Ferdiad, how are you? Nice to see you. Our Sandra's here. Hi, Sandra. We have Lois and Sarah, Forever We're After. The lovely Kathy, hello. Emma, how are you doing? Making a strong cuppa. I can't fault you, Emma. Lily, another Lily, nice to see you. And Dawn, hello Dawn. Twigger, how you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, and the lovely Cheryl's here. How are you doing, Cheryl? How's things? How's Bobby doing? I know you've been really through the mill over the last week or so. So hopefully you saw all the love and support in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. I think there's over 200 kind of, you know, hearts and things to that, 200 reactions, which is, well, you know, just shows how you're thought of. Who else? Jennifer, hello. Tom's here. Hi, Tom. We have Fifi Faye. Nice to see you. SJ. Hello, SJ. Oh, he's a lot better than he was. Withdraw forever duty. Yeah, I bet. Bless him. Laura's here. Craigie, hello. Judith. Jen, hi Jen. Robin, I don't know if you left my live before the suggestion of a tag sharing backup copies. I did leave. I left about 10 to. Well, I actually did a tag once, Robin, called My Backup Decks or something like that. Do you know how many people did a VR? Zero. And then I kind of thought, well, it is very niche, backup decks, because not everybody does them. And I only get backup decks for those decks that I really, really like, one of which I'll be showing today. Well, actually, a couple of which I'll be showing today. Where are we? I don't want to miss anybody out. Moontide, hello. Jennifer, Trisha, Don Marion, hello. V Kestrel, hello. It's been a while since we've seen you. How you been? Letty, Adam's here. Hi, Adam. Ellie, hello, Ellie. I love that mug. Yeah, it's a great mug, Ferdiad. Yes, that'd be nice, Simon. Yeah, it's over a year, isn't it, since we had last got together on American soil. Been nice for us to meet up on British soil. I want to come back and visit the UK. A classic Glastonbury might at some stage in 2026. That'd be cool. 65 degrees Fahrenheit where you are. Wow. Certainly not that here. Have I said hello to everybody? Oh, Moran is here. Hi, Moran. Thace. Hi, Thace. Rayburn Glands. Heidi, hello. Frodis, hello. Elspeth, hello. I think that's it. Oh, just turned you all off. How rude. I'll put it back on. So, how have we been? How are people getting on? Are we all keeping warm? I know it's very cold in the UK, and I'm hearing it's cold in other parts of the world as well. No, and I'm glad you mentioned colour. It's jumped now, so I didn't see who has mentioned colour, but someone just asked if we've seen colour, and who was it? Oh, it was Trisha. Have we seen Colour Lily anywhere lately? No, not at all. And also David Wilson, not seen him for months. And you just hope they're okay, don't you? Because it's strange that, just disappear. But I was asking about Nancy as well from A Crone's Intuition, because I'd not seen her for a while, and you suddenly realise, don't you? I've not seen a video from someone for a while. And then I checked in with Sandra to see if she'd heard from her, but she's back this week, but she's had health issues that she's been dealing with. But it's been lovely to see her videos again. And also Mary from I nearly said Nothing So Strange because I'd just seen that flash up. Again, also been absent, been going through things. So you just hope people are okay, really. I'm more curious about your backup decks. How often have you found you've had to reach for your backup copy of a deck, or has it not happened yet, just in case? Security blanket. Yeah, they're more security blankets. I mean, the ones that spring to mind that I've got, Pagan Otherworlds, I've got a couple of them, Ancient Italian, Classic Tarot, Deviant Moons, Untold RWS. I have backups of Tarot des Eaux Arcs. I have backups of, I can see it in my mind's eye. It's one of my first decks. My first indie deck I ever bought by Inner Hue, and I can't think of the title. Inner Hue. Connected and Free was the Oracle. I want to say Illuminated Tarot. It's not Illuminated, but do you include backups in your collection numbers? I do, yes. So when I scan them, it will tell me I've already got one copy of that, and do I want to add another, which I do. I have backup decks, so I don't worry about using the original. Yeah, and decks go out of print, as we know. So if it's a deck that I love, I've got backups of Gaia, and I've got backups of it's really bugging me. Lumina Tarot, thank you, Sandra. Simon, I've been fine, been disliking the dark and gloomy days. I'm with you, Lily Rose, but love the sunsets and the wolf moon. Cool. Backup decks equals security blankets. I cannot live without the Aquarian Tarot. I grew up on it. I have a backup deck, but still use it. Yeah, and my first deck, one JJ Swiss. I've got a 1970. I've got the yellow box one that Sandra gifted me, which was exactly the same as my first one. I've got an English title one. I've got Vincent Petiti's version, and I've got Conrad Stain's version, because I just love them. But I think we do get like that, don't we? And if a deck is an important deck to us as well, and they're affordable, why not get a backup deck? yes, and as Adam said, very often indie decks go mass market and we buy the mass market version, which then becomes a more affordable backup option, doesn't it? I love a backup. I'd love a backup Pagan Otherworlds. Yeah, I even thought about getting a third one, only because with my Pagan Otherworlds, I edged them both, one in metallic gold, the other in metallic blue. And then I thought, I kind of wish I had one that's not, but I don't need to. I don't need to do that. They did bring one out probably about 6 years ago, which was gold edged, and it was, was it 22 karat gold? Proper gold, and it was a couple of £100. And I just couldn't justify it, even though I really thought, it'd be beautiful. But I got some money for Christmas, and I've actually made a purchase. But they're being made at the moment, and it is going to be my most expensive tarot deck. But I'll share that with you when it comes. I heard from the creator that said just need a couple more days to finish off. Yeah, so that's like my most extravagant. But anyway, you'll see why when I get it. I will get both an Indian and Massima deck if I like it, as they usually have some differences in them. I have each of Lubanko, Unfolding Path. I have various copies on the Move decks. Wow. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Backups can be like miniature versions as well, can't they? When Tarot in a Tin comes out. I mean, most of my Tarot in a Tins, I've got the full version as well, because they, like you said, they're ones that you can use on the move, throw in your bag. The Lumina Tarot is probably one deck I got rid of in the move, and I regret it. I might buy it again. So I've actually got 3, because I've got 2 indies, and because it was so expensive, I just discovered the Tarot online community. This was 10 years ago in 2016. I didn't have a channel then. I loved it. People at the time was comparing it a lot to the Wild Unknown, but the only difference is it has humans in as well as animals, but it's similar in art style. And I didn't buy into the Wild Unknown at first. And so I think if I'm right, they're in Australia, and when I saw the price and how much it was going to cost to ship and everything, I thought, I'm going to get 2 just in case anything ever happens, because I think the price of shipping for 2 was the same as 1. I think that's what I did. I think my memory is a bit sketchy now, but of course they've now, years later, released it as a mass market release. I think about 2 years ago, wasn't it? So just shows you as well, deck that's been out for like 8 years suddenly becomes, I mean, look at Bonestone, that took around the same amount of time to become a mass market release. Because I often think, oh, it's a shame that didn't get picked up, but then, maybe it will. The Petitia, are the Petitia decks still for sale since its passing? I believe so. I've got this one, the 1JJ Swiss, which has 2 extra cards, because the 1JJ is part of the Best and Son lineage, if you like, although not directly. And it has the Juno and Jupiter cards. But Vincent Petitia drew and painted brilliantly. You wouldn't know it wasn't part of the original deck. A High Priestess and Hierophant card. So you've got the option, or you can either put them in as well and have 80 card deck, or you've got the option to switch them out. And I thought that was really good. I kind of wish Conrad Stain could do that for his vintage version, because that's the one I use the most. Let's have a look, see if there's any. I bought my first indie decks as Heidi for Christmas. The Dark Mansion Tarot, it feels like my soul deck, so I think I'll be buying a backup. Oh, wow. And which version did you get? Because they came out with 3 different types, didn't they? No, that's a good point, and that's why I was very careful when I said my my most expensive deck, because tarot tiles are my most expensive tarot related purchase. But as for a deck of cards, it is, but it's on that level. Put a backup of the Llewellyn, but the newest version cardstock is trash. Yeah, who knows how that's going to turn out. It's being released later in the year, but I live in hope. After the Lubanco, I thought, excuse me, maybe they are listening, maybe. Jen says, all that has to happen is for one card to be messed up and it can mess you up. It's best to have a backup of anything you really love. I agree. And again, you know, it seems very extravagant, doesn't it? And I know there's a lot of people that be watching this thinking, well, the chance would be fine. You know, it can be a very, you have to be very mindful sometimes buying decks, particularly indie decks, because of the cost anyway. So to buy 2 is just not possible for a lot of people. So I'm mindful of that. But if because I live on my own, you know, and I don't have any vices, you know, I am in a position where I can, but not for every deck. But certainly if I look at it and I think, okay, I can do that, but it has to be a very, very special deck for me to do it. Hello, Son of Sun. Good to see you. I'm excited over the reprint of the highly anticipated Shadow Light Tarot. Just backed it on Kickstarter. It's an extraordinary deck. Brilliant. Question, how does everyone feel about the deck purges when moving? I have to move in a year. I have sadness about clearing out. I have about 50 decks. I mean, I did a video a few months back about decluttering. It's not been easy. And I've got to admit, I have gone into not just my back room, because I've got 3 stages of decks, as you know, but into my storage containers about 3 times since I did that and pulled out a deck that I thought about. And I thought, where is it? And then it's been in there. And then I think, gosh, if I'd sold that. So they're just sitting in limbo at the minute. But yeah, it's hard. But I mean, 50 decks, for me, that's not a lot. That's probably 2 little cubby holes for 50 decks for me. They go back quite deep. But they might, you know, if they're tuck boxes, they're not a lot. But if they're big kind of Llewellyn kits, then that's something different as well, isn't it? But how do I feel about deck purges generally? Not every time, but I have regretted letting some go. Slow holler, case in point. But c'est la vie, I made that decision in that moment. So, do you find decks you get backups are ones that appear again and again on your favorite list? Yes, quite often. I am doing something along that lines now, and that I have got some backups of them. Oh, Freudis says, I think the Lumina Tarot is my first indie tarot too. Yeah, I love the Hierophant card in that deck. Love it. I do have the Lily White and the Lily Black. I think, actually, they're pretty close by. Yes, they're here. I keep them out because I love the Lily White and the Lily Black. I think when I first got them, I preferred the Lily Black. and now I prefer the Lily White. Isn't it strange? But both of these are brilliant decks. Celia Melville as well. Her art is stunning. So yeah, they're a favourite of mine. I think they're gorgeous. You haven't sprung for either. I'm currently in love with all the Diaz decks. I can barely afford one copy, let alone a backup. Yeah. I mean, I've got a backup. See, that's another deck that I've got backups for. I've got a backup of the Golden Age. And I've got a kind of a backup of the Earth Magic because I've got the, the sepia and then the colour version. I don't really class that as a backup because it's kind of different enough. Why are we talking about backup decks? This isn't the subject that I've even planned for tonight, but I'll go with it. Just trying to catch up. I'm 3 minutes behind that, so that's not bad. Okay, I'm going to go off the backup thing. Otherwise, what's going to happen is the whole chat is going to be about backups, and that's not what I've planned for. So, I was thinking this afternoon about a bit of a subject, and I did say last week we won't always do subjects. And then I thought, well, maybe tonight we'll just have a bit of a Q&A, you can ask me a question, I'll answer it, or I'll ask some questions, and you can answer them, and just have a little bit of a chat and a catch up over a coffee. And then I thought, well, I better think of some questions. And I've ended up kind of pulling together a tag, which wasn't intentional at all. But you'll have seen it in the title of the live. So decks we reach for is the tag. And it was just going to be a subheading because if you notice when I do Cuppa Catching cards, I will put Cuppa Catching cards dash and whatever we're going to be talking about. Like, when we came into autumn, it was the dark half of the year and all that sort of thing. And it was just going to be called decks that I reach for. And I've put some prompts for that. But then every time I do something like that, I get comments from people who say, oh, Simon, would you mind hashtagging that? Because I want to do it. And so I just thought, well, I'll put a hashtag in. If people want to do it, then there's a hashtag there that we can all click onto and watch. And what I would say is, as well, if you're thinking of starting a channel and you never know where to start, hashtags are the way to do it. That's what got me started in the tarot community. I'd been around for almost a year before I recorded my first, very active in lives and other people's videos with comments. And then I decided, I saw a hashtag, it was by Arwen Lynch. Whatever happened to Arwen Lynch? And I thought, oh, that sounds fun. I might have a go. And the rest is history. So if you have been thinking about, oh, I'd love to have a go, then do a hashtag. They're great because everybody follows the hashtags as well. It's the whole point of hashtagging it because you click on it and it brings everybody's video up who've included that hashtag. All right. So, decks I reach for, I've done 10 prompts, but do play along as well. I'd love to, I don't mean necessarily doing a video, but now as we're talking, share yours. So 10 prompts about the certain types of decks that we reach for. So obviously the first one is, which tarot deck are you reaching for the most right now? And that could be, a new deck because it's just come in and you've got that sort of experience of when a deck is new, you want to bond with it and connect with it. So your tarot deck that you're reaching for most now? Judith, I'd love to give it a try. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Mine, surprisingly, and even though winter weight, even though I do my deck of the month, and these are the decks I'm going to work with in the month, and in the main they are. This little beauty, I keep reaching for it. And I think ever since I got this little bag, this was a birthday present from Giselle, Madwitch. Ever since I got that bag, and because I chuck it in my rucksack, it goes everywhere with me, and I love it. And it's the Ancient Italian. Talking of backups, I have these. This is the box, by the way. If you see any decks, you think, oh, I need to check that out. Ancient Italian. They are Lo Scarabeo. I don't know how long they're going to be in print for. You never know with Lo Scarabeo. Sometimes they just disappear. They don't have the multiple languages. These are the backs. And it is a beautiful deck. Absolutely beautiful deck. And I mean, even the pips, look there, it's kind of a Soprafino, but not strictly so, because it's kind of a bastardization of a couple of decks. Ancient Italian decks. But the line work, the colours, I know not everybody's into pip decks, but and not all the decks I'm going to show you tonight are pip decks as well. So please don't think, oh, he's just gone down the pip route. I still love my RWS. I've got a lot of decks to show. But yeah, it's just, I mean, look at the line work and the detailing. It's exquisite, really beautiful. Cardstock's really nice. This is kind of like my perfect cardstock. I can't ask for more. And I've got the Soprafino. I prefer the ornate stylization of the pips in this than I do my Il Meneghello. But I've got an Il Meneghello Soprafino, but I prefer this. Cardstock is nice with an Il Meneghello deck, isn't it? Because it's like art paper, art card. But yeah, let me show you. Look at this devil. I love this devil's expression. So cool. Show you don't want to see all the pips, so I'll show you the Hermit, La Papessa, Ace of Cups, gorgeous. Judgment is great, but I love the sketchy line work of it. It's kind of like what if you have got a 1JJ Swiss. It's kind of like that. Here's our magician. Hanged Man, Death, our Fool. Yeah, just gorgeous. Gorgeous deck. Show the Tower. So colourful and beautiful. Really, really love it. And I would recommend this. Anybody who, because pip decks, they're not as popular as RWS. They're harder to get. They seem to go out of print quickly. But if you are thinking of dipping your toes into Italian decks or French decks and historic decks, this is an affordable option. And it's just wonderful. So Ancient Italian. Let's have a look at what you guys have been saying. How far back do I need to go? Ooh, lots of comments. Wow. So I saw Winter Weight. We've got Master Tarot. Terra Volatile. The book is huge, by the way. The Dreaming Way. Sandra says, I'll try and do this as a video. That'll be fun. Bone Stone. Rider-Waite and Galactic Star. Oh, Sacred India Tarot. Yeah, I love that deck. I got that just after it went out of print. I think it's back now. I think it's had a second printing. It was buried way down on the bottom shelf in Watkins, right at the back. Fyodor Pavlov, Hidden Realm. Just bought a backup copy. You did well. It's just gone out of print. Hoi Polloi. I finally got the Hoi Polloi. I'm having so much fun with it. That's brilliant that you managed to get that. Discovering Beauty Tarot, not heard of that. Sugar Plum Tarot, Grim Tales Tarot, Amber Moon Tarot that I recently got in. Yeah, I love that when you get new decks and you want to work with them. Kim's is Earth Magic and Tarot of the Witch's Garden. Lovely. Witch Sister, Tarot Manara, The Night Wait, Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot. Dawn's is the Golden Age Tarot at the moment. It's fab, isn't it? It's a fab deck. I think I showed everyone. I got a pouch for mine, which is lovely. It's quilted. It's really nice. These remind me of the kind that Anne Fort used to make. That's out because I use it. It's the RWS deck I reach for. Santa Merte, Lightseers, Donna loves Ancient Italian. Yori Leach, Ogham Oracle, and the Unveiled Tarot. Quiet Rebel, the Radiant Rider-Waite. I've not used that for years, you know. I think for me, it was one of my first RWS decks. And I think for me, once the Dirty Pam came out, it kind of took its place. But I should dig it out. Ancient Italian is already out of print? No. Seriously? Well, I'm glad I got my backup. I only got that about 6 weeks ago. Wow. Yes, Armando Pips. Yeah. Okash and Thorn. God, I'm 6 minutes behind. People are giving more than one though. The line work is so sharp on that deck. It really is. What's the best way to follow hashtag? Click on it. Click on the hashtag. It will highlight in blue on someone's video. So once somebody hashtags, it turns blue and you click on it because it becomes a hyperlink, and then it will list all the videos on your device where people have entered that hashtag. Art edition of the Serpent and Peacock. Crystal Fire. Oh, that's one of Carol Hertz's deck, isn't it? It looked lovely. Can you hear that? Tommy can hear that. Because I used to think somebody was drilling repeatedly. And then someone said, I bet it's somebody with coffee bean grinder. And I think it is, because it's the same time every night. And my parents used to do that. My mum used to sit there and say, come on, Mal, it's 8 o'clock, coffee time. Because she used to make it at 7 and he'd make it at 8. Every hour. To my surprise, the Daydream Tarot hasn't left my desk. It's been my go-to deck since I got it. It was an unexpected discovery. Biro Tarot. Not sure I know the Biro Tarot. Is it all done in pen and ink? Anima Mundi. Winter Season Tarot. Oh, you got the Golden Age. Have you showed it, Sandra? I don't remember seeing a video. Anna Kay. I mean, that's a classic, isn't it? I love Anna Kay. That's one I could never let go of, and I've got a backup of it. Indie and Mass. The indie, I think you can still get the indie. I don't know how she got around that, but even when it was picked up, she was still carried on selling her indie, and the card quality is much better, and the card size. Have you got a ghost, Simon? No, I don't think so. Have I caught up? Wow, I have. Right. So next prompt then is prompt number 2. Which tarot deck feels like an old friend for you? So thinking of the theme of grabbing a deck, the ones we reach for, which is the old friend? Now, I think a lot of people will expect me to say RWS, and I'm not, because I'm talking of old friend, and it's a deck that I've mentioned already tonight. And if it's an old friend, then it's got to be my first. And as you know, it's the 1JJ. This version here, I've edged, so I've got really nice kind of, it's like a vintage brown, matches the back, it's lovely. This is the MPC one that Conrad Stain did. And because of the kind of aged tone to it, I just think the colours look completely different than they do on a white background. It's lovely. And this, I bought the Superior Smooth option for the cards, and it's just such a dream. This deck has been where I sit on my sofa. I've got a little table at the side of me, and this has been out on next to me for a couple of weeks. I almost forgot to bring it over. So as I mentioned, it's got Juno and Jupiter, but again, it's another one of them where it's got really beautiful and intricate detailing in the minors. I mean, look at that for the 3 of Cups. Just look how beautiful that is. And by the way, I will make the prompts available in the description below. I've even put the prompts are, and then I've left it out until after the live. I love this devil card. This is one of my favorite devil cards. And it's an image that's ingrained from my childhood, from a TV show that we mentioned many times. But yeah, the cups in this in particular are just gorgeous. I'll show you the death card. So this is an old friend, a trusted friend. Love it. Couldn't be without this deck in my collection. Here's the Hermit. This card was what was always on the front of the box. Another kind of iconic image. The Tower card. I love the Moon card. I'm trying to find the Moon card. It's kind of split in two. Yeah, here it is. And when I was a teenager, this was my first deck. And then I bought the deck again years later in 2016. Seeing this image was like, it just took me back. I was like, oh my gosh. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet, isn't it, at the top? It's serenading her. And then we've got the crayfish at the bottom. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful deck. The Strength card has a male figure in it. And there's our beautiful Queen of Swords. So 1JJ Swiss is my tarot deck that feels like an old friend. Pretty deck, I can see why you love it. And, you know, back then in the 1980s, there certainly wasn't anywhere near as many decks as we have today. And this in this area anyway, we weren't spoiled for shops where you could buy tarot decks, but it was like the most popular deck, and everybody seemed to get this one. So yeah, one JJ, pop you there. And we'll go back and have a look at your old friends. I need to find where I got up to last time. Okay, so don't laugh. Why would we laugh? That is a great deck. I think I can probably put my hand, on it. That's with my kind of retro, not vintage, but retro decks like Morgan Greer and all those kind of decks. So it's a great deck. I can see why it would be your old friend, particularly if it's been part of your life for quite a while, Ferdiad. Universal Weight or Druid Craft. Old English Tarot. That's another good deck, isn't it? One World Tarot. Aquarian. Morgan Greer, we just mentioned. Green Witch feels like an old friend. Druid Craft. Llewellyn, the original. Moran says, Lightseers brings back so many memories. It was an era when this tarot came out, or just a Marseille deck, but you don't use them much. The Centennial Smith-Waite. Spectro Whirl. Not seen that. Aquarian Tarot, Morgan Greer, Superlunaris, New Era Elements, the Lightseers Tarot. You always have a few, Adam. Centennial in a Tin. Have you ever been upset with a deck? I wouldn't say upset. One of the prompts kind of touches on this. But I wouldn't say upset. The only deck that I was really disappointed with and I've never bought back was the English Magic. I thought that was, it just didn't work for me. But I wasn't upset by it, but I just kind of thought, why did I buy this? I kind of bought into the hype. A hard one, but probably Aquarian. You're not boring, Dawn. Not every prompt's gonna resonate. On JJ. Whoops. No, I don't want to leave. Don't know what it's asking me if I want to leave. Yeah, one JJ Swiss, great deck. Sasrabito, Santa Murti, the Fountain and Japaridze, Okash and Thorn. Yeah, a lot of people saying the Aquarian Tarot, Arthurian Tarot, Victorian Romantic, the Golden Rider, brilliant deck. That is such a pretty deck. See why I love it. Llewellyn. Oh, the Mother Piece. I could never get on with that deck. I've got it. I've even got the mini version of it as well. But yeah, I could never really connect with it in the way that I thought I would. You know, and you buy a deck and you think, oh, that's going to really speak to me. And then it doesn't happen. There isn't that melding together of you and it. The energies don't seem to align. Radiant White, Radiant Rider Weight. You saw it in you. Do you know, I was just going to say to you when I started reading it, I thought, is that because didn't you modify it and trim it and make it a little bit small? And I loved your little press stud pouch that you had for it. It reminds me of the one. And this, you was the inspiration. When I said to Giselle, because she was saying, oh, let me make you something for your birthday, I wanted something that would just fit the deck that I could carry around. And I said, could I have a little press stud? And I was thinking of your little bag that you had. I know you made yours yourself. Loved it. Yeah, and because I went to New York without a deck. Do you all remember? I was so stressed having not flown for 20 years and everything else. I didn't take a deck with me. And then when I saw Kim with hers, I was like, that's really handy and portable, and loved it. But yeah, I did see it in New York. Okay, let me try and remember to put capitals if you want to see it. Yes, Simon. Yeah, I thought you'd modified it. It was cute, and it's like I say I did. It was Kelly Barrett did it for me because I wasn't proficient in edging or trimming back then. And she did that for the Dirty Pan. So it reminded me of that a little bit. All right, prompt number 3. Looking at time, I hope we get through all 10. Or I might have to do it in 2 parts. Number 3. Is there a deck you brought purely for the artwork? Purely for the artwork. So, this was purely for the artwork. And it's the Akuli Aquatati. I mean, this, at the time, back in 2018, when I bought this, was quite an expensive purchase. And had it not been a UK person, because it was in London, I think it was £50 or £60 to buy. And again, we're talking like 8 years ago. It was quite a lot. But this is a huge, huge deck. And it's not one that I've used for reading. I bought it because I thought the artwork was incredible. You can see a standard tarot size against it. And the majors are very different to the minors. I have shown this a few times, so it's not but the detailing. So here is our Fool. Now, they are thick art card. There's no numbers, no titles. It is just the artwork. But it is incredible. I mean, look at our High Priestess. Let me just show you a close-up of the line work. It is gorgeous. And I don't have any decks that are this thick. So this was purely for the artwork. There are other tarot decks that I bought for artwork. Painted Tarot was another one. I almost put that in and thought, well, actually, I have done readings with Painted Tarot, even though, I mean, many of us buy decks because of the artwork, don't we? Let's be honest. Look at that beautiful lion. It's by Scarlet Imprint, this. I don't think it's in print anymore. I think there was only 50 decks made, something like that. Don't know if it tells you on the certificate that you get. You get a certificate. Oh no, there was way more. There was 900. What am I on about? 50 decks. I might have been thinking of the one from Artesanos. What's it called? The Spanish tarot one. That only had 50 copies. But I think it did go out of print. I think. The Death card is brilliant. And I know not everybody likes decks with that colour, but I just love the sketchiness of this. Here's our devil. I'll stop at the majors. And now, I don't think £50 is a lot for a deck of this beauty and quality. It wouldn't go for that now, obviously, but yeah, incredible. So a deck that I bought purely for the artwork is Scarlet Imprints, Akuli Akul Tarty. I know people are going to say, what was the name of that deck in the comments for the next few weeks? So I'll show you on the screen so you can see. It's kind of like holographic. Look, Akuli Occult Arty. And it's by Scarlet Imprint 2018. So amazing deck, amazing. Right, what are you guys saying for your deck that you brought purely for the artwork? Matronoa, Da Vinci, Revival Art Tarot First Edition, Margaret Peterson, Delphi Tarot, Golden Botticelli, Mystic Psyche Tarot, all of them, latest, the Terra Volatile. Yeah, I mean, we do buy for the artwork, don't we? I think what I was trying to say is purely just for the artwork. Like, I'm not going to use it for readings. I just want it because of the art. So, like an art deck. Majestic Earth. Something else from Matronoa. Matronoa is a very popular one. Vampire Tarot. Is that the it is, yeah, it's in the spirit of, is that for the Robert and Place Vampire Tarot? Lubanco, Heartwood, Soul Cards. Yeah, I classed them recently as a as a tarot deck because I made mine into a tarot deck. The Byzantine, Tarot Prague, and yeah, Romantic Victorian is beautiful, isn't it? Baba Studio decks are gorgeous. Biro Tarot. So when you're saying the Biro Tarot, is that the rediscovered? Is that kind of like a nickname for it? I know that artist under Pentagram Publishing did 3 decks, didn't they? Boff Tarot, Art of Tarot, Circle of Doors. That was sent to me and it never arrived. But I kind of think there was one deck. Well, there's a custom charge that was a lot, and I just couldn't afford it. It was like over £50, and I'm like, I'm not paying customs on a deck that I don't know what it is. I didn't know what it was, and it could have been that, because looking back, it might have been around the same time, but. For the artwork, the Visionary Tarot just ordered, but it hasn't arrived yet. Yeah, I think you only ordered yesterday, though, didn't you? Because I think I only showed it either yesterday or the day before. Art of Life Tarot. I used to have that on my desk at work many years ago. All the decks as Tamarpai. That devil is hot, Simon. I almost said that when I was showing it. The Brady Tarot. Yeah. Let's look for some capitals now. Okay. All right. Moving on then. So that was 3. So prompt number 4, the deck that you admire but rarely read with. So is there a deck that you admire but you rarely read with it? I changed that because at first I put a deck that, or is it? No, that's one coming up. That's the next one actually, where I changed the wording because I thought, no, that's not going to go down well. I'll come on to that. So yes, a deck that you admire, but you rarely read with it. Mine has to be the Mary L. I've been on such a journey with Mary L, and I've actually got now all 4 versions of this deck. When I first got it, I was so daunted by it that it sat on the shelf and I almost got rid of it. I almost traded it. And the person that said, oh, I'll trade it, for whatever reason, it didn't happen. I thought, well, it can just sit there for a while. And then I watched somebody do a walkthrough of it. It might have been Elle from Sacred Seed. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to grab it off the shelf and have another play with it. And I really liked it. And I thought, oh, this is great. But I still, is this where I think, yes. So somebody made me this, which is a lovely box with the Emperor card on it. And I remembered the cushioning on the inside. If you got something in and took it out, there was this secret from the New Choice Tarot de Marseille. And I didn't know it was there. And quite a while afterwards, they said, have you taken the backs out? And I was like, no, why would I? And then on side, there's another picture of the Emperor. But yeah, I didn't know that was hidden there. There's nothing hidden in this one. This one is glued down, even on the side. But yeah, so Mary L, this is the gold edition. It was only out very briefly. Has the most incredible artwork. People didn't know what it was. Oh, look at that for a death card. It's by Marie White. They didn't know if it was a Thoth deck, an RWS deck, or if it's just doing its own thing. This card was replaced in a later version. And actually, I saw a video once making the case to say it was a Marseille. And I was like, don't see it myself. But it's just what it is. But I rarely read with this. In fact, I can't remember the last time I picked this up. The first version was this big, and as you can see here, it's not aligned well. So we had to be really careful for those that trim. My first deck, I had professionally trimmed. I took it to a printer's and they trimmed it for me. And I just wrote in a silver metallic what the cards were. And I posted it on Instagram, and Marie White actually commented and saying, really like that. Well done on that. And I was like, oh my gosh. But then they brought out another version that had, I think it was like a gunmetal grey metallic edging. It was a lot smaller and it was on matte cardstock, but there was a problem with it sticking together. So they recalled it and they released it again, I think with a black. Well, it was the other way around, and I managed to get both. So the original, the gold, and look at the Hermit here. The 2 new matte versions. So Mary L, beloved in the community. I'm never going to part with it. If I keep any, it'll probably be this one. But I admire it. I admire it for what it is, but I rarely read with it. Okay, let's put you there. Have some of the coffee before it gets too cold. Hello, Luna Lit. Don't worry. New era elements. Oh, that was number 4. Are we on 5 now? I don't know where we are. Which one are we on? No, we are on 4. Visconti. Byzantine. The Marielle. We're in sync. Wild Unknown. Agree, Marielle. Adam's there with his list again. I don't know the Black Madonna, Red Madonna. Pagan Otherworlds. Philarkos. Yeah. And the Marielle. Mother Mort's Oracle. Crow's Magic, says Tammy Pie. The Atea Tarot from Viewmond. I think they can be confusing. I've actually been getting on better with the one without any titles or anything. I've only used Marielle Mass Market once. Hermetic. Jane Austen. Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Solabuska. Yeah, that can be difficult to read with. It's not the easiest. The Thoth Tarot. Pagan Otherworlds seems to be a popular one. Shadowscapes. And it turned out to be the gold edition. Wow, you struck lucky. Witch's Wisdom, that's another popular one. Marielle is an all-time classic. Yes, it is. Smoke, Ash and Embers. Mystical Creatures. LaCourte. I love LaCourte. It's one of my favourite Il Meneghello decks. Nice, but out of the box, it's pretty much done for. Let me just look for capitals. Don't forget, guys, capitals, and I can see you amongst the chat. Hi, Chris. All right, so prompt number 5 then. The deck, or is there a deck you used to be unsure of but now appreciate? So originally, and I had to come back in and change it because I sat there and I thought, because I'd put, is there a deck that you used to dislike but now appreciate? And I thought, I can see people responding saying, why would we buy a deck that we dislike? So I changed it to unsure of, because I think we've all had those moments where we'll see a deck, we'll hear somebody talk about it or fawn over it, particularly if there's people who I watch in the community and I think we're on a similar kind of, and I hear them talk about this deck and I get really excited for it. And then when it comes, just kind of like, I'm unsure about it now. Or sometimes decks are sent to me, like Cheryl will send, I don't know, 10 decks at a time, and we'll sit here and we'll do our spotlight, and I'm like, I'm unsure. So a bit different to the one before where we admire it, but we rarely use it. This is more about the deck that was unsure at first, but has now grown to appreciate it or even love it. No? I think you all know mine. A deck that I was unsure of, but now appreciate. It has to be my Thoth Tarot. If you've been around a while, you'll know me and the Thoth journey. And the reason why I put appreciate is I did have a Thoth deck. Just one of the, I can't even remember who, was it AGM? Oh, and it might be even US Games, where there's like a green box and a purple box and there's different sizes. I had one of them from way back, and it just didn't do anything for me at all. In fact, I remember saying it just leaves me feeling a bit cold. But the appreciation came last March when Sandra and I met up in London, and we went to the Warburg Institute, and I saw Lady Frida Harris's original paintings framed in that gallery. And I just thought, oh, wow, they're actually quite beautiful. And then I went to a place in West Yorkshire called Haworth. I did vlog from there, and I went into a shop and they had some vintage decks, and one of them was this deck, the Greenie. And I said to her, and it was out, you know, and you could look at the cards, and I says, how much is this? Pacing myself for what she might say, but she actually said, oh, it's not for sale. And then there was just like a little, oh, it's not for sale. And then I started watching walkthrough videos, as you do, and just going down the whole kind of thought. I mean, look at the sharpness and the detail of the line work in this particular one. It's gorgeous. One of my favorites miners, I'll show you. And I just discovered things. I mean, I used to look at that, I think, the Jolly Green Giant off the Sweden tins. But then when you go in and look at all the different layers, like the symbols, there's the fool's dog, and all the different, it's just so many layers to it. I just got an appreciation for it, and I thought, actually, it's really nice. And I committed to working with it exclusively for a month. I think it was the month of June. I love the Queen of this as well. Beautiful card. This is one of my favorite. And this appears in El Cento Tarot, if you can find it. Yeah. And it was one of those that started my pip journey, because I was really enjoying working with it. So the appreciation came years after I got my first ever Toth deck. The Greenie just looks so nice. It's gorgeous. They're not easy to get. I did get very lucky getting this on eBay. But there is an MPC version, which I keep, actually. Put these ones safe. They are more green, but this, and it's a little bit smaller. This is linen, and there is a pocket version of this as well. I bought the pocket version, and the creator sent me this. So it's a little bit smaller, but they've done a nice job with it, and that's quite an affordable option to get a Greenie if you can't get the original Greenie. And then the lovely Kelly Bear made me a pouch for my birthday back in October to put my Greenie in, and it fits beautifully, and it has the nice green on the inside as well. Perfect fit. So yeah, so that's my deck that I wasn't sure of, but now appreciate. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at yours. Wild Unknown. I used to use more, but never actually get it out. Jen's afraid to mess it up. The Licourt. Il Meneghello's Vacetta. Spirit Keepers. Oh, Anne, I was talking about you. I don't know if you was here when I just mentioned about your pouches. The Maria Celia. Yeah, Wild Unknown, Solar Booster, Somnia, Lilla, Hush Tarot. I went on a journey of Hush Tarot. I had it, got rid of it, bought it again. Don't use it. Playing card, oracles. Morgan Greer's popping up in a lot of categories tonight, isn't it? Deviant Moon, Sacred Web. Oh, Muha. I remember hating it. Getting great readings, but will never leave my collection. Definitely Thoth. I love mine now. It was going to that exhibition, Simon. It was. Keymaster Tarot. That's a great one. I've got that down here. It's a great deck. I love the Keymaster Tarot. Aquarian. Very similar. Thoth was out of the question for me, but now I adore it. Crow Tarot. Wow. Gothic Tarot. Midnight Magic. Unsure of Soprafino. It's beautiful. I was going to say, but you could get the Ancient Italian if you're not sure, because it's less expensive. But Cheryl said it's now gone out of print, which is a shame. You might be able to get some on eBay before people realise it's gone out of print. Because you know what it's like. As soon as the decks go out of print, people ram the prices up. William Blake. Yeah, I don't use that as much as I thought I would. It's beautiful. I love the William Blake, but Midnight Magic is a fun mushroom deck. Wild Unknown seems to be popular, as well as Thoth. Trionfi della Luna, says Dawn. Right, let's look for capitals. Deck I used to be unsure of. Witch Sister Tarot. When I ordered it, I was totally unsure of it. Yeah, I don't know why, because I love Hidden Realm, and I was lucky enough to get the old card stock of Hidden Realm when it was nice and thick. But then it was in the big tuck box. But then I bought it again, and then I had the new book, the nice tuck box, the nice magnetic box, and an old one. And I loved it. And then when Witch Sister came out, I was like, don't give me the same excitement. New Era Elements, that's got mentioned a few times tonight as well. Appreciate Hidden Realm. The green Thoth is fabulous. Any more capitals? The Ehrenberg and the Wildwood Tarot. Only just joined. I was saying that I bought from Etsy because I wanted a bag to match my Golden Age. And I said, I managed to get one. And I said, it's very much in the similar style to what Anne used to make, because it's got a very similar back to this. It's lovely and padded, but it reminded me of you. Tower of Prague. Yeah, so cool. All right. How are we doing for time? No, we can't. I was going to say, do we stop here at halfway point and do the second half next week? But if it's a tag, people will want to know all 10. So I'll try and go quicker. Can I, if you are joining in, if you just pop capitals and perhaps just one deck that to respond to it will just save us a bit of time as well. Okay, so number 6. Which tarot deck doesn't get the attention it deserves, in your opinion? I've added in your opinion because, yeah, people say, oh, I think it does, but in my opinion, and it's just been mentioned, actually, for me, it's the Ehrenberg. I thought this deck would be everywhere. And I have seen it in a few places. I have bought it as gifts for people. But I love this deck, and I just thought when it was coming out, I was really excited about its release date in the UK. I'd seen some walkthroughs in the States. Sorry, I've got something caught on cloth, and it's pulled a thread. It's US games, really gorgeous, and it's these close-up images, and it kind of reminded me of a modern Morgan Greer, which has been mentioned a lot tonight. And I thought, do you know what? This deck, I think everybody's going to be talking about it, using it. It's going to become an instant classic, and it just hasn't. And I think it deserves more attention. I mean, look at that. We often, especially, I don't know if you remember when Jen Phoenix used to do the tarot play dates, and we used to break down the symbolism of the RWS. I think that was the first time I even realised that in the Seven of Wands, it got odd footwear on. And that really focuses on the odd footwear of him that stood on that high ground. Yeah, I just think it's, I mean, look at that for the mask. I think it's an amazing deck, the 9 behind the bandage. I love it. The 3 of cups. You just see one of them, but the other 2 cups are there. I love the 10, that heavy burden, pushing that boulder up. Judgment. I mean, how can you zoom in on Judgment, really? You could probably just do the trumpet, but you don't. You get this hand coming out of the casket. I just think it's a brilliant deck. My significant card, the fish coming out the cup, but it's the fish as a cup. The Hermit's Lantern. The Nightmare card. Temperance. You've got the feathers in the background of the angel wings. Just amazing. I love that as well. We do get the close-up of the cup, but we get a very scenic view there too, which doesn't happen a lot in the deck. But let me show another. Everybody goes on about the cat and the Queen of Wands, don't they? The Heartbreak of the 3. But you still got the hat pin here with the heart. Yeah, so the bird from the 9 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles. So I just think it's a brilliant deck, and I don't think it gets the attention that it deserves, in my opinion. So mine is Ehrenberg. What say you? Looking for Capitals, Wildwood Tarot. I think yes, it's kind of been overshadowed again, hasn't it, by the Greenwood, and will be for some time. But yeah, it will have its time. It will have its day. I've got 2 versions. I've got one trimmed and one untrimmed. Somebody else saying Wildwood as well. Keymaster, Chrysalis, good old Chrysalis. Although it confuses me with the 2 different titles, just stick with one. Magic Pantry, Penumbra, brilliant deck. Love Penumbra. That's just behind me. I knew you would say that. I should have said it. I thought when I was writing these, Robin A manuscript of Initiation. Ehrenberg is a deck that I loved for a month and then haven't touched in a year. So that could have, answered a previous prompt, couldn't it? Ehrenberg I loved at the time. Yeah. Astromatrix Tarot, Supernova Tarot, Boadicea Tarot. He's still doing multiple ones, Adam. Tarot for all ages. Lonely Dreamer. That's another gorgeous one. That's right behind me as well. Aaron Berg needs to come out in a tin version. They probably won't, because I don't think it's been popular enough, which is a shame, because, yeah, I just think it's brilliant. What am I doing? Next one. So that was number 6, wasn't it? So number 7. Which deck feels like it has the strongest personality? Again, in that spirit of decks that we reach for, the ones that kind of has a personality, the strongest personality. You might be a bit surprised by my choice, but I'll explain why. Mine is the Green Witch. Love this deck. Absolutely love it. This has came full circle. I loved it. Didn't use it for a while, because then Llewellyn brought out all the others, Everyday Witch, Witch's Tarot, Witch's Garden, all the Wizards Tarot. I kind of went through them all, and then I came full circle back to this. And this has appeared in my all-time favorite decks, my most beautiful decks, all those hashtags. But when I think about a deck that has personality, I think of this deck, because this is a deck that ticks a lot of boxes for me. It's very scenic. It has a storybook vibe of an era that I grew up in. But the people in this deck just they all seem really happy. It's like when we talk about tarot pathworking, stepping through a card. When you go into this world, I mean, just look at us sitting under that tree, so content, so happy with life, very grounded. Look at that, happy, smiley face. They've got real personalities. I just think it's a fantastic deck. This is Llewellyn's. This is Llewellyn, if you're watching, this is your best ever, kind of pre-2017, best ever cardstock. This is what the original, what we're talking about, Hidden Realm, not Hidden Realm. Yeah, Hidden Realm. I bought this as a backup, and when I opened it, it was, I think I did a side-by-side comparison. It was like half the thickness. I gave it away to somebody. But I'm fortunate because I've got an original lovely cardstock. And Llewellyn, just go back to this. Go back to your original printing of this. This is what we want. This is the same quality as US Games, of MPC. Yeah, but these all have personalities, and I adore it. It's a favorite Llewellyn deck. I mean, I love the Llewellyn Tarot. It probably ties with that, but it's wonderful. Okay. I mean, just look how chunky that is. It can be done. Right, let's have a look. What are we saying? Darkness of Light. That's, yeah. Madhouse. Bonefire. Marielle is making another appearance. Hi Beth, just in time for Green Witch. Deviant Moon, yes, certainly a deck with personality. Tower of the Abyss, another one. Joker, the Queer Tarot, Llewellyn Tarot, Tower of the Divine, Bonefire. That's a couple that said Bonefire. Tower of the She, brilliant deck. I mean, that's another one that's kind of like a modern classic now, isn't it? Curious Travels, Bonefire, very popular. Deviant Moon, Robin Wood, Folkloric, Everyday Witch. Yeah, for the same reason, I think, Heidi, you've gone for Everyday Witch is the reason why I've gone for Green Witch, because they've got those personalities within them, haven't they? Supernatural, Obscuro, good one. Deviant Moon, Jacques Viviel, Holy Spectrum, and we've got Crow Tarot is imposing. Yeah, definitely. All right, where are we up to? Why are they reversed? Oh, no, they haven't. Ignore me. Number 8. Do you have a deck that you're still trying to bond with? So do you keep reaching for it in the hope that that bond is going to happen? It's going to form. You're going to connect with it. So a deck that you're still trying to bond with. I had a couple, but I've gone with this one. Now, I haven't had it a long time, but I did a walkthrough of this and I was like, this deck is brilliant. I'm going to love it. So it's the Lascelles Eternal Tarot by Lascelles Elliott. I mean, I even struggle to get in this box, you know. I do this trying to prise it open, and it's kind of weird. And I was saying that, you know, people who want to start learning pips, this would be a great one. And I was saying there's keywords on it, so it will help. The cards are quite big, actually, when you compare it with a standard tarot. They are quite a big size. Lovely matte cardstock. It is black and white, which I don't mind, but and it's got this beautiful gold gilding. But I don't know. I thought I would bond with it. You know, we've got 5 of Swords. Pick your battles. But it hasn't happened. I've pulled it so many times. You can see that they're not, you know, they're not in order. I've worked with it, but the bonding hasn't happened. The courts bugged me a little bit with like the symbol for the court and then a different kind of headwear, whether it's a crown, a cap for the page, or yeah. And it was everywhere. When I went to London on a course recently, called into Watkins, and they got loads of these everywhere in there. And I was like, yeah, I imagine it's going to be popular. But then I thought, well, actually, they're stacked up on the shelves. I looked, Cheryl at Oneness is doing her kind of like top 10 sellers of the year. And I thought, I wonder if that is one of them. And I thought, I'll have to ask Cheryl how this has come across. But did anybody else buy this and have the same sort of ensure, oh, this is going to be great? But then, for whatever reason, and I can't put my finger on it, and sometimes you can't, can you? Sometimes it's just It just is that fact that anyway, yeah, Lascelles Tarot, Lascelles Eternal Tarot. Still trying to bond with it. I'm not giving up on it. Don't get me wrong. It's not leaving my collection, and it's still behind me. It hasn't been relegated to the back room. Certainly not been relegated to the storage containers, because I want it to happen, but it's taking time. And I don't know why. Maybe it'll just click, you know. So that's that one. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, this is where I got up to. Simon, you showing the Ehrenberg Tarot reminded me I needed that deck in my life. Just ordered it. Yes. Let's do the big up Moran. Holy Light, still trying to bond. Wow. I love. Oh no, I'm thinking of Holy Spectrum. Sorry. Holy Light, Holy Light. I can't think what that is now. Tower of the Woodland Wardens. I get it. I get that. I was looking at that earlier and I've moved it to the back bedroom. Egyptian Tarot, hard to read. Meraki, love the art, can't read with it yet. I get that as well. Beautiful deck, but every time I think about going for the Meraki, I end up going for the Metanoia. Egyptian Tarot, no Scarabeo. Greenwood, I can't bond with it. Wow. It's funny, isn't it? It's just as it is, and we don't always have an explanation for it. Primordial Dreams, Mythologia Phoenica. I mean, the artwork is amazing in that, but it isn't easy to work with. Arc Tarot, too huge. Tarot Vampires. Bonestone and Earthflesh, you're not alone with that. Forest of Enchantment. I mean, I got rid of my originals, you know, indie Bonestone. But glad to have it again now as a mass market, but I haven't read with it much. But I want it because I love Anna Torian's art, and I've got all of her decks, with the exception of the Lenormands. But Fyodor Pavlov, Bonestone, I just cannot. Tarot Landscapes, Shining Tribe. I relate to the guidebook. I struggle with interpreting some of the images. Tower of the Witches. Ethereal Visions. It's gorgeous, but it doesn't click. Yeah. Somnia First Edition. Hedge Witch. Seasons of the Witch Tarot. Is that because of the repetitive words? I think we've got a troll in. Oh, they've been deleted, have they? They don't show as deleted on this. That's interesting. Tarot of Tales. Witches by Ellen Cannon Reid. Yeah, that's here in these kind of 70s, 80s decks. There are so many super popular decks that I just don't buy because I don't connect. Oh, Sandra's rehoming the Mythologia Phoenica. Simon is speechless. Quite a tarot newbie, so I wonder what my fave will be. Or maybe when you do get it, do the hashtag my soul deck. Holy Light, Christine Payne Towler. Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm holding on to this because I want to trade this for her other deck, which is the Uda Picard deck. And I'm wanting this to go out of print so that I can say, I will trade this for the Uda Picard. It's my only reason I'm keeping it. And I've got the book, the big book. I love Tower of Witches. Never tire of it. Silly fun tarot. What was the troll saying? Something about, I think I'm gay and I didn't tell my parents or something, but it was a troll comment, not a serious one. Okay, we're nearly there. I think I've got 2 left, haven't I? I know we've gone over time, but people are still here. Number 9, do you have a deck that only comes out for special occasions? Short answer for me is yes. We mentioned it earlier. Mine is the Pagan Otherworlds. Used this deck to death back in 2018, 2019. As I said, I've got 2 copies. This is the one I edged in metallic blue to match the backs. I've got one in gold. It probably is for me one of the most, if not the most beautiful tarot deck ever created. I think the artwork is absolutely stunning. These pieces wouldn't look out of place in a art gallery. The detailing is just exquisite. But I find now this deck is one that I would only use for special occasions. I have read for other people using this deck, but you know, it's kind of, I've kind of elevated it into that status of, and there is an extra card. This is the Seeker, which is a significator card. I love decks that have significator cards. But when you see the detailing in this artwork, it's linen cardstock. It's the Expert Playing Card Company that printed it, which is incredible. But this working with this deck feels like a special treat. You know, maybe, well, not maybe, in the past I've done it, but, you know, maybe going forward, I would use this again for like the year ahead spread at my birthday or on New Year's Day or something like that. Just gorgeous. And it's beloved in the tarot community, isn't it? You know, it's up there. It's a timeless, modern classic. Let me show you. I mean, she, the Queen of Pentacles, is just gorgeous. I used to have this on display on my wall. I don't know if you remember, if you've been around for years, but I used to have these kind of, they hung with strips. Sandra, when you first came here, did I have it? And this was my favorite to display on that, all 78 cards. It was, again, just like having a wonderful piece of art. The Devil, this is what I wanted to show you. The detailing. If it was my iPhone I was showing you this on, you'd see the line work. But it's just amazing in this deck. So yeah, the deck that feels like it will come out for special occasions. So what I reached for on a special occasion, if I want to treat myself with a beautiful experience of a reading, then it would be Pagan Otherworlds. Pop it back, and I have a backup of that deck, as I mentioned. All right, number 10, the last prompt is there a deck that you only use for yourself? A deck that you just love and you think, this is for me, this is my deck, and I'm not going to use it for other people. They might not get it, they might not appreciate it. Mine will surprise you, I'm sure. Oh no, I've not, sorry. I've jumped ahead on time, I haven't looked at people's answers. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to get them up on the screen because it would take that prompt off, but I'll quickly read them. Simon, Keep Holy Light is great. It might be great, but the Oud Picard deck would be greater. Simon, have you dedicated 1 month to... Yes. Every month I do a decks I'm going to be using in October, decks I'm going to be using in November. And in the main I do, but I do. And at first I didn't, and I was really enjoying not doing that. But every so often now, I think, oh, I'm going to use this deck. But still for that month, it's the decks that get used the most. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I stick to it religiously. I don't, because other decks come in, or an old deck like the Ancient Italian. I think, oh, I want to read with that today. And that's fine, you know, it's a rule I'm imposing on myself. So Pagan Otherworlds, Forest of Enchantment, Trick or Treat Tarot, Tower of the Crone, Pagan Otherworlds 2, Glitter Weight. I don't know when the next prompt's going to come in though, am I? Because you're going to be putting prompt 10 in. I like that, Lunalit. Simon, being alive is a special occasion, so I use all my decks all the time. That's lovely. Shimmering Veil, Wisdom of Kaliak, Groovy Weight Stars, The Deleted World Tarot, Pagan Otherworlds, Celtic Dragon, Grail Tarot, Spolia, Shimmering Veil, that's a popular one. Pagan Otherworlds is fabulous. Oh, Sandra just remember me having it. Yeah. I have decks designated specific readings too. Yes. I've done something on that. I think it was workhorse decks where I had like my workhorse deck for inner child work, my workhorse deck for path working, you know, that sort of thing. Carol Hertz are glittered painted decks. Yeah, they're stunning. They really are stunning. Okay, so decks that we use for yourself. So as I mentioned, might be a little bit surprised, but I just fallen madly in love with this deck. It's Marco Benedetti's Rosenwald. Now, the only one available when I got this is the limited edition in the wooden box, was the Rivoltini. The Rivoltini where the backs are glued on and then folded over to create a border. And I love it. Really, really love this deck. The colours are rich and vibrant. I would only use this for myself, not for others. Now, Marco will always say that his decks, use the hell out of them because they're built to stand the test of time. But because this was an expensive deck, because of the Rivoltini, but he announced a couple of weeks ago that he's brought back the original version, coloured still, without Rivoltini. And it was something like 40 euros, which was like 30 something pounds. So I ordered it, and that's coming. So I will have that deck that, and it is on this hammered art card, but I can keep this one as a special limited edition in the wooden box with the Rivoltini edges, and use the hell out of the other one. I just love the simplicity of this. As I said, I love the colours as well, but the simplicity. Now, this deck goes back, over 500 years of the turn of this, going from, I think some people have got it at like 1495 the year. Some people have got it down as 1505. So there's like a 10-year period, but over that century passing from the 1400s to the 1500s. And it was a deck for the people. So it was made cheaply, so that the everyday person could afford to buy this deck. It is missing the fool, so whoever creates or reproduces from the sheets in the museum has to come up with their own fool, because the fool isn't there. Well, Marco's done a fantastic job with colouring this, and I love it. I really, really love it. The pips are very, they're not ornate. They're just kind of there. But it's wonderful. With the Rivoltini as well, sometimes it's not the easiest to shuffle. So I'm really looking forward to just getting the standard version as well, which was a fraction of the price as this was. We'll look at this moon card. Just look how luscious these colours are. Look at her red dress. Vibrant and beautiful. All right, so Rosenwald. Oh, I've got to show the love card, the lover's card. Look at that. Is a deck for personal use. This particular one, maybe if I get the standard, I would use it for others, but this is just for me. And God, I love this devil. I mean, look at him. What a fantastic devil card. So that's mine. I'm going to have a look at yours before I pull the tarot tile, and see what your deck is that is just exclusively for you. And thank you for playing along tonight. It's been great, and there's 144 people here. All of my decks are just for me. The Sorceress Tarot, most decks, Tower of the Bastard. Only for me is Marielle, New Elements Era. That keeps popping up tonight. Golden is such a very special deck. Nigel Jackson Tarot. I love the Nigel Jackson Tarot. Okash and Thorn, Greenwood. All my decks I don't read for anybody else, as nobody knows about my tarot obsession. Builders of the Iditum, is that how you say it? I don't know that one, Marita. Tower of the Abyss, Athorian, Open Face. You read for other people with your Open Face. You read for me with it, Robin. In Cafe Reggio, you had that, and you had the manuscripts. Walking Meditation, Star Child, Playful Heart is a lovely deck. Mystical Melodies. 100% agree. I use it for myself all the time. Yeah. Did you know, Anne, that is bringing out the Rivoltini one again? Edmund Dulac, Marielle, Lucky Star Shadow. Where do we buy decks from Marco? So the only way you can buy a deck from Marco is to follow him on Facebook, Marco Benedetti. And then he puts out, he's got pinned at the top the decks that he's still got available in the price list. And then when he brings out a new one, he'll put a post out, and you just private message him. So you click the messenger button, tell him what you want, send him the PayPal money with your address, and he sends it out to you. So simple. So that's what I was saying earlier, Marilyn. Once this is uploaded, it's all ready to go. It's all there, and it says the prompts are. I just need to copy and paste the 10 questions in, and then it's good to go. Are you going to do a VR? It'll be lovely to see your choices if you are. Right, let's pull a tarot tile. Where are they? Oh, I can't reach them. Oh, got it. Yeah. So if you do want to play along, the hashtag is decks we reach for. Okay, and obviously the 10 prompts are within that and will be in the description in the next 10 minutes. Because I'll do that first, then I'll write up the card that we're pulling. Ooh. Well, this is a nice card for the week. We have the 10 of Cups. Do you know what? For this couldn't come at a better time for me, but it's not going to be about me. It's about all of us, a collective. But a time to feel at one with the world, and a return to that status quo that we've probably been missing for some time. Things might have felt really tough, really challenging, really difficult, particularly on an emotional level. We've probably struggled to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we've craved emotional fulfillment. Well, that emotional fulfillment is within reaching distance for us. As a card for the week, we are going to start to feel some more balance. And as I said, a return to the status quo, particularly on an emotional level. And I know a lot of us currently are in emotional turmoil. What's happening out there is batshit crazy at the minute. But do you know what? Keep looking to the future. Keep focusing on the future. This too shall pass. And that status quo will return. That's longer term. But on a personal level for this week, particularly if we felt we've struggled to see the light, there will be some light this week, and that bit of normality, that bit of stability, at an emotional level will be there. All right. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I know it's been a long one. I've been on for almost 2 hours, but it's been fun. And thank you for taking part. I've loved seeing your responses to the prompt. I'll look out for people doing the tag. Yeah, and have a fantastic rest of your weekend, whatever it is you're doing. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.